Okay, thank you all for joining today for the live webinar. We are going to be talking today about using statistics on your site, viewing the statistics and using them for site improvements. I'm going to do a series on this, so we'll have several discussions on the topic and just kind of talk about the progress and watch the progress of the site. So this is a brand new site that I am just creating. I'm still working on it. Don't have a whole lot of content in here yet. And I have things that I will be modifying and changing on it. So you'll kind of watch some of the progress with this site being created and statistics as we go along through that and how we use those statistics to help us improve the site. Now, this particular site is going to be put into, this is on a WordPress platform, so it's a little different perhaps in the back end than what you would see with some of some of the other things that you might see, but that's neither here nor there really. The stats and looking at the stats is still going to work no matter what. Okay, and so that's something that we will be able to work with. So what I want to do here is just to make sure that we have our stats installed. So I'm going to go over to my stat counter, and statcounter.com is a place where I like to get I've explained, if you've watched any of my statistics webinars so far, that this is one that I really like to use. So HTTP vipersharp.com. So that is the new site that I'm doing. I haven't created any groups. Mountain time is good. And we're going to do an invisible tracking. I do not want any weekly reports or other reports. And add project down at the bottom here. I always go with the default installation guide. It's just a snippet of code that I can just copy and paste into my website browser. Now I've got to get this in a place that it can be seen all the time, and that's so that's kind of what I'm looking at here. And I'm not sure. I don't want to mess up any of the code. So if I just come in here right before the end body tag, that should be safe. So I'm just going to put my code right there, update that file. And so that should do it. And then I can come in here to my stat counter and check installation. And it will tell me whether or not that is seen. And it should be fairly instantaneous, and sure enough, code was detected, so we're good with that. Now, I also want to get Google Analytics, so we're going to go to analytics.google.com, and we're going to install the analytics there as well. And I don't believe that I have that set up here. Nope. And so we will add a new project for that as well, and I've got to remind myself where to go for adding a new one. So I think it will be right down in here to add a new one, and it's different. This is a different account than what you'll see most likely, because I've got an account where I can manage many different websites, and so I've got to add a new one in there, a new property basically. And I am going to, there we are, create a new one. All right, website is Viper Sharp. URL is vipersharp.com. Industry really is irrelevant, but we'll just choose something in there for them. And make sure that we've got our right time zone. Get tracking ID. And then once again, I'm going to go and just paste this in the same area here. I'll just put this right below the stat counter code. Property URL is invalid. It doesn't like my URL.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Jessica. Let me run down and check.
How about now? Oh, there's a problem. I don't need the HTTP because it's got that over there. All right, so yes, we do make mistakes over here sometimes. So there's my website tracking code right there. Copy that. Come over here and paste it. Update file. And so there I've got the tracking code for both StatCounter and Google Analytics installed. So we're good with both of those. So all of that will be in there for us. All right. So now what we want to do is look at how we're going to move forward with this site. So in the coming weeks, what I will show you is how we'll see this site increase in traffic. So we can go and get a little bit of traffic there if we come into Why Viper Sharp, to my videos page, to the order page, to the My Account, and basically just click through the site. And I'm going to have to talk to the gentleman I'm having help with this because I wasn't supposed to have that slider on all those pages, so we'll get that updated. And so I'm going to work on all of the different things with my site as I go throughout the coming weeks, and we will watch as hopefully the traffic improves. Now I've got a lot of marketing and optimization and stuff that we'll do, so it'll be kind of slow going in the beginning most likely, but as soon as we start putting in all that marketing, we'll start seeing that. Now I'm not seeing usually that's pretty instantaneous to see that come in. So this is, there we are. So it is showing it. It just wasn't updating. So there we can see that it is tracking. I've got one unique visit, which is me, and 6 page views that I went through. So it is seeing the site and recognizing what we've got going on there with it. Okay. So Google will show something similar in there. We'll come in and well, actually, let's just go back to home on Google. It's going to be under my first Meridian section, and there's my Viper Sharp. And Google doesn't update quite as fast for some reason. They do a lot of things really well, but I'm not a fan of their statistics. So they aren't showing any users or sessions yet. So hopefully next week we'll have some traffic there to start looking at, and then we can work on what we need to do for optimizing. Now, since this site is brand new, one of the first things I know I've got to do is come into each of these pages and create content on the page like this here on the home page. I've got to update my meta titles and get all of those updated with keywords that I want to target. And so this first week is really more of a game plan than anything else. What we're looking at here is a game plan for where we're headed in the future. What are we going to accomplish? And so what I'll probably do is I'll come in here to my trusty old Google Drive and create a document for my game plan. And I want to check off what I'm doing, so I'll probably just do a spreadsheet rather than a Word document type item there. And what we'll do is call that Viper Sharp Optimization and Marketing. And we're going to put in here And this might change over the weeks, but what action do I want to accomplish? Goal date to complete it. And then if I decide I want other things down there, I can put those in. I'll freeze that top row so that I can scroll up and down as I build that out. So one of the first things I want to do is update site design. And that makes me think of another heading over here I can put in, SEO related. Site design is not really SEO related. And when do I want to have that completed? I would like to see that completed by November 27th. Okay. And then we'll have a actual date for when it is completed. Okay, next thing that I need to do is optimize pages. And then optimize products. Pages should be optimized by the 27th as well. Products, realistically, I'm going to give myself a little bit longer there. I'm going to say by end of day 11:30. And these are SEO related. Okay. So these are all things that I want to work on. Now, what does that site design include? Change to the slider. Links to social pages. So these are just some of the things that I know I want to work on within my site. And then as I work on those things, I will have I'll basically, each of those has an element in them that may affect the site. Okay. So links to social pages, that's something I want on my site, and make sure that those icons are linked. I have the YouTube here and I have the Facebook, but they're not linked to my pages. And so that's something that I want to do. So if we go down here to my action list, update Facebook page, and that needs to be a consistent thing. Create YouTube videos, which will also be a consistent thing. But I'm just getting started here, so when's my goal date? When will I next update my Facebook page? Well, looking at my calendar again, Wednesday I'm going to go and get my, and actually let's put that in my personal calendar because that's where I should be putting those notes. So, all right, so Wednesday here, I need to call my contact. So I'm going to schedule that in so I actually have it on my calendar of what to do. Call Nolan. That's my contact for my product. Okay. So I'll talk to him on that day and hopefully go and pick up my product that day. And then I should be able to do an initial video either later Wednesday or possibly Friday or Saturday this week. I've got Thanksgiving in here, so I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to be preparing for Thanksgiving on Wednesday. I have family all day on Thursday, and I'm going to relax. Friday I'll be working on some projects there, and so I'll probably be doing some work on that. And so I could probably do a video here, create video for Viper Sharp. Now, creating that video, and then I will also update Viper Sharp Facebook page. So I'll create the video and then I will post it on Facebook to let my followers know that it is there. I do have some followers already on this. I started this project within the last year. And so earlier this year, I had created the Facebook page and started creating a little bit of buzz, and I have some people that have liked that page. Haven't put a whole lot out there, and so I definitely need to update that and give them something to look at. So this weekend, I'll have that video, some images, and things like that for my product. I'm hoping that I should have that available there. So that's in my calendar now. I've got so this is going to be 11/27 for each of those. Okay. Are they SEO related? Yes, they are. So these are my tasks for this week. With these tasks being done, these primary optimization parts, the page optimizations, the product optimization, that is not something that's going to create traffic within a week's time, most likely. It might. It's definitely a possibility. The site has been live for a little while, so there may be some possibility of seeing some traffic there, but I think it's not as likely. And then we'll put this in here, review keywords, which really is going to happen with all of these steps, but that's definitely going to happen by the 27th. And yes, it is SEO related. So what will really help drive traffic is these two right here. Getting a YouTube video up there, posting that on Facebook, those are things that will definitely help. Another option that I can do is post on Facebook knife and prepper groups. Discuss with a friend of mine for a release, and discuss with another friend for release. And then I've also got research. So those are all things that have to be done. Now, the Kickstarter research is something that I want to have done by next Monday, end of day. These discussions I want to have done by 11/28. And posting on those groups, I will probably do, realistically, I think that one's going to wait until I have my Kickstarter campaign. So we're going to go to maybe December 11th, I think would be a realistic goal for that. And if I decide to do it earlier, then I can definitely do that. So these are all related to either marketing or SEO and will affect the bottom line of traffic. Okay, so those are all things that I want to have happen. All right, so this is my game plan. So I've got a solid game plan. I've written it up with goals of when I'm going to accomplish these things. Are they related to my SEO? And this is important to recognize. Site design, it doesn't really affect whether or not you get traffic. So that's not something that you want to spend too much time on unless you're really picky about what's happening with your site, and you really shouldn't be too early on in the game. Now, most of you won't have the kinds of issues that I'm doing here or that I run into because I've got a custom website, and so I've got this issue with this slider that should only be on my home page that is currently showing up on all of my pages, and I don't want it on all of those pages. And so I've got to figure out how to get that removed. Well, that's just because I'm doing a custom site that I have those issues. You won't run into those types of things, and so that's not going to be an issue that would be on the forefront or a major thing that you need to worry about. Okay, so so you'll be focusing primarily on the SEO and marketing type things. One thing that I will want to do is create a AdSense campaign for the site, and that is something that I'll probably do on in December sometime. And that is quite advanced. This one is supposed to be in December. There we go. The AdSense is quite an advanced thing, but I'll probably talk a little bit about that as we work with the things that we're going to be doing through looking at stats and kind of following the traffic as it happens. So, all right. So that's our game plan. That's where we're headed. Again, I kind of let you know getting started here. This was going to be kind of just a beginning overview and game plan type of webinar, but that's where we're headed now. Does anybody have questions? Are there any questions about what I've discussed here? Anything where you're wondering, if there's something more I should add in? Any other thoughts out there? Questions about what we've discussed with the preparation for where we're headed? Okay, I'll take that as a no. I don't see anybody putting questions out there. So we're going to go ahead and carry this over to next week. Next week we will begin looking at the stats from what we've done in the first week and set some new goals and additional goals related to traffic.